Hello everyone. Welcome. Today, we're tackling CS50's finance problem set, Set 9. This project can be challenging, but also very rewarding. We will break down the problem, talk about the key concepts, and guide you through a potential solution. This aims to help you understand the core logic of the finance application. First, let's understand the problem. Set 9 simulates a simplified stock trading platform. Users can register, log in, get stock quotes, buy shares, sell shares, and view their transaction history. The core functionalities involve interacting with a database and using an API to fetch real-time stock data. The problem requires you to design and implement the web application using Python, Flask, and SQLite. It requires a strong understanding of HTTP methods, database interactions, and security principles. Second, let's discuss the key concepts. We need to understand Flask routing. This involves defining routes for different pages like the homepage, buy, sell, quote, history, and register/login. Each route handles specific HTTP requests and renders corresponding HTML templates. Database interaction is crucial. We'll use SQLite to store user information, stock holdings, and transaction history. Understanding SQL queries for inserting, updating, and retrieving data is important. API integration is another key element. We will use an API to fetch real-time stock quotes. Handling API requests and parsing the JSON response is essential. Finally, security is vital. We need to implement proper authentication and authorization mechanisms to protect user data. We must hash passwords and prevent SQL injection attacks. Third, here's a simplified walkthrough of the solution. We'll start with setting up the Flask application. This involves creating the Flask app instance and configuring the database connection. Then, we'll define the routes for each page. For example, the quote route will fetch the stock quote from the API. The buy route will handle buying stocks and updating the database. The sell route handles selling stocks and updating the database. The history route will display the user's transaction history. The register route will create new users after properly hashing their password and making sure it's a valid entry. The login route authenticates existing users. For each route, we will use HTML templates to render the page. We'll use Jinja 2 templating to dynamically display data in the templates. Remember to handle edge cases and errors gracefully. For example, check for invalid stock symbols or insufficient funds before executing trades. Implementing proper error handling will improve the robustness of your application. Proper validations will improve the application's functionality. This project might seem overwhelming at first, but by breaking it down into smaller, manageable parts, it becomes less daunting. Remember to test your code thoroughly and debug any issues along the way. Don't hesitate to refer to the CS50 documentation, online resources, and ask for help from the CS50 community. With patience and perseverance, you can successfully complete Set 9. That was a brief overview of tackling CS50's finance set. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider supporting the channel by liking and subscribing. Let me know in the comments if you have any further questions.